This is the equivalent of if I criticise Liz Truss, someone says, oh, so you prefer Keir Starmer then? No. I'm going to be as respectful as I can with this one. But this is your guy? Seriously?
Thank you. Thank you.
Where that hand is, teenage girl. It's never with the boys, by the way. It's always the little girls. Always the girls, never the boys, which is even more sus. I have made no secret about my stance on American politics. I don't really care, because you have a two-party system, just like the UK. Only yours is much worse than ours. But regardless of political opinions, creepy politician touching children is unacceptable to me. I don't care if you're left or right. But what's even funnier to me is you immediately assume I'm MAGA. So does that mean that MAGA is anti-touching kids? I personally don't think that. So yeah, it's not bollocks. I'm sorry to break it to you. I am going to keep referring to creepy Uncle Joe, the child sniffer. I do not talk to the BBC because I'm Irish Joe Biden, for as long as he remains unaccountable for these things, whether people like it or not. But one thing I will give the Orange Man bad some credit for, and it's the reason why I somewhat backed him against Clinton, and it's about time he was acknowledged for this, is that he did not start any more foreign conflicts, whereas virtually every other US president had their war. And I distinctly remember everyone thinking that Orange Man was going to start World War III, when Clinton literally wanted a no-fly zone around Syria, which would mean the US and Russia would have to go to war. Everyone thought he was going to start World War III over North Korea. He was the first US president to cross that line, brought the North and South Korean presidents together, and they had the United Korean Olympics team, something nobody ever thought was possible. And don't even get me started with the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The TPP would grant broad powers to multinational companies operating in North America, South America, and Asia. Under the accord, still under negotiation but nearing completion, companies and investors would be empowered to challenge regulations, rules, government actions and court rulings, federal, state or local, before tribunals organised under the World Bank or United Nations. So much like TTIP, remember that one guys from 2016? Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. Companies could bid for control over public services, and governments refuse, they can be sued by the corporations. And then there's this wonderful gem. My dream is a hemispheric common market with open trade and open borders. A speech to Goldman Sachs. So in conclusion, say what you want about the Orange Man, but foreign policy wise, he was a lot better than some of the other presidents you've put in charge. There are many other things that the Orange Man did that I fundamentally disagree with. But when it comes to foreign relations, it's very important to me, because whatever the Americans tend to do, the British follow hook, line and sinker, which means that if the US did put a no-fly zone over Syria and it erupted into a hot conflict with Russia, you could bet the United Kingdom would follow hook, line and sinker. Whatever the US does, the British follow blindly, something that I am quite against with my government. And then there's the whole thing with Hunter Biden's laptop, which was openly censored on social media. So yeah, it's not BS. And no, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't think creepy Uncle Joe, the child sniffer, has had anywhere near as much criticism as he deserves. There is far too much big business surrounding him for that to happen.